Hey guys, it's Xera, and I've been wanting to share my Animal Crossing New Horizons island for some time now, but have been busy for a variety of reasons. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing lately, and even though since recording this I've changed maybe a dozen things on my island, I wanted to share the state it's in because I'm very proud of it, and it's got bits of Japan, where I've been living for the past year, bits of England, where I was studying abroad when I started the channel, and my interests as well, like small farm for all the farming sims that I'd play, a reading area, and concert stage. I might describe my personal aesthetic as realism, or natural looking, not in the overflowing objects in every nook and cranny autumnal forest natural that we see a lot in kind of Twitter or island tour videos, but a natural in that it could reasonably exist in the real world. There is some logic governing the construction on the islands, and the roads are in places of high foot traffic, if the villagers really had lives and visited stores and other residents. And what I like to imagine as bus stops, with benches, vending machines, and streetlights, are also reasonably spaced and in places that a bus line might run to, like outskirt residential areas and more central areas. I also want my island to be functional. I enjoy playing the game, and I need to be able to run along the beaches and chop wood and find fossils. So some beach areas are decorated and others are rather bare, though one of the changes I have made since recording this footage is adding some more turtles and some shell speakers. But going back to the road layout, the island hopefully has an organic kind of progression from city, with the blue iron fences and downtown kind of function buildings like the resident services, museum, and commercial buildings. But in the area we've just left, the height of the landscape is lower. It's becoming more rural. There's an apple orchard across the street, a farm stand. There aren't as many power lines or street lamps, just one by my kind of imaginary bus stop. This moment is a good example of one area where I planned the decoration around looking up and seeing the giant stuffed bear in the background. Of course, up close you know it's a stuffed bear, but from down here, when it's in the background and its lower half is obscured by fencing, I think it's a really nice view. And there are a few other places where the higher terrain height was planned to be viewed from the lower height, so maybe I'll be able to point those out. This is the farm area, and I'm super happy with how it turned out with the first stage saplings and mum's cushions. I had laid it out in 3 other areas before settling on this location to make the secret library and my mother's gravesite feel a little more secretive and tucked away. Up next is the largest part of the island inspired by England. When I lived there, every field was growing this beautiful bright yellow flower with a really terrible name that's used to make canola oil. But I think sometimes they also just let the flowers die in the field and then plow them back into the soil to return some nutrients. The yellow fields in the Pokemon Sword and Shield games are, I think, references to the same experiences that I had there. This area is dedicated to the various Japanese myths that are represented in the game, being Momotaro, who is a baby found by an old couple inside of the beach, who saves Heist Village from demons. Kaguya Hime, who is from the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter. The bamboo cutter finds a baby girl inside of a bamboo stalk and takes care of the baby. Eventually, she kind of grows up and has some adventures, sort of, and ultimately must return to the moon where she's a princess. There's a really great Studio Ghibli film retelling the myth. And finally, Gladys, a Japanese crane/ostrich villager. She's from a story rather similar to the myth of Cupid and Psyche. A man nurses a crane back to health and then finds a young wife who weaves beautiful fabric from behind a screen, warning him not to look. He sells the fabric and they become rich and comfortable, but eventually he looks behind the screen and realizes his wife is the crane that he saved. Upon learning her identity, the crane must leave him, and it's kind of sad. Bit of a downer. Anyhow, as I've been working and living alone, I've kind of come to grips with the flow of the rest of my life, and I've decided that I want to pick up YouTube again and make videos when I have something to say or something worth sharing. So I want to try harder in the future to put myself in a position where I am finding things worth sharing, so please look forward to more videos of games or IRL videos from Japan. This is a promise to you, but also more importantly to myself, to conduct my life in a way that makes me want to share again. So thank you again. Not again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.